Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Alt Legal Connect. I'm so glad to have you here for our third, mostly annual Alt Legal Connect conference. I'm glad to have you here. If this is your first time at Alt Legal Connect, I want you to tell us about that in the chat because you'll have some people who will welcome you. Um, there will not be snacks ahead. Um, all right. My name is Bree Van Til. I am the Director of Education at Alt Legal. I'm also your Master of Ceremonies for Alt Legal Connect. I'm the contact person. I've been the one sending you all the obnoxious emails. But if you're not getting emails from me, please do add me as a contact. Send me an email. Make sure that you're getting emails from me because I actually do send you like meaningful stuff like here's how you find the materials. Here's how you find the surveys so you can get CLE credit. Make sure that you're getting emails from me. You should have gotten one this morning. Definitely check in with me if you're not getting those emails. Other than that, we're going to be BFFs throughout this entire conference. I can't wait. I absolutely love it. So there's a whole lot of things that we're going to talk about. You are all hearing me on the stream tab. If you weren't, then I wouldn't be talking to you. But this is where you're going to go for the majority of the content. All of the sessions are going to be here. There's not a limit on the number of people who can be here, but I am going to ask you to use the chat to talk to one another, share resources. This is your opportunity to connect with one another. We have a brand new addition to Alt Legal Connect this year, which is our post-session discussions. So based on our feedback that we've gotten most recently, we heard that you just wanted an opportunity to talk more about the sessions, about the things that you learned and everything else. So after every single session, we're going to have a 20-minute post-session discussion. Most of the speakers are going to be there, but that's also your opportunity to talk to one another. So I want you to think about how would you implement what you've learned in the session? How is it going to impact the way that you practice? What more do you need to learn from this? So those are the sorts of things that we're going to talk about in the post-session discussions. If you don't want to discuss what was going on in the post-session or what was going on in the session, you can instead go to the breakout rooms. So you'll see we've created a bunch of themed breakout rooms. So if you're a paralegal or a trademark administrator and you want to find others, you might go to Paralegal Paradise. If you're at a small firm and you want to talk to others who are solos or at tiny firms, then you might go to Small But Mighty. There are a whole bunch of rooms that are there for you to find people that you want to connect with. All right. So I want to talk very briefly about networking on Brella. Brella's claim to fame is its matchmaking. So when you go to the People tab, it's going to show you the people who it thinks are best for you based on your interests, based on what you said. If you have not enabled networking, make sure to do that so that you can meet up with people. People can schedule meetings with you. If you do schedule a meeting, one-on-one meeting, you can do either video or chat meetings. Or, of course, you can always say, hey, why don't we meet in X breakout room for a little while? So you can go before, after sessions. You can go during breaks. In the mornings and in the evenings, you can go. And you can also do networking at that time. In Brella, you will see the schedule tab. That's going to tell you what's coming up. You can see what meetings you have scheduled. And that's also where you're going to go to attend any networking sessions. If you would like to get calendar reminders or email notifications, you can actually sync your calendar through Brella's schedule tab. You're just going to go through and bookmark each of the sessions that you want, and then on the right there's an option to sync your calendar. All right, so as I mentioned, the networking events are going to be on different platforms. Those will not be Umbrella, um, but you will see links to those in the schedule Umbrella. And we'll probably also put those in the chat so that you can find them. So we have speed networking, backed by popular demand. We actually have two of those. So we're going to do that today, this afternoon, and also on Wednesday. We're going to have mini games tonight. We're going to do trivia tomorrow. And finally, we will have our happy hour and our very famous prize drawing on Wednesday evening. Attendance is required for you to win a prize, so make sure to join us for that. All right. If you signed up for workshops or roundtables, you will have gotten an email confirmation as soon as you sent that. Those are limited. They're limited to 20 participants per because they're incredibly interactive. They're all intended to be. And for those of you who teach, which I know many of you do, probably know that when you get to much more than about 20 or so in a class, it's really difficult to give people the sorts of attention that they really need and deserve. So we did limit those. I'll talk very briefly about roundtables and workshops. So roundtables are all about arriving at understanding together. So don't expect a lecture. They do absolutely require participation, but roundtables are not going to be recorded because when we're playing with ideas, when we're exploring, we're going to be really vulnerable, and I want you all to feel comfortable sharing your ideas and asking the questions that you really have. So we will not be recording roundtable discussions, but we will share with you the materials that the roundtable leaders created. They all created outlines and sets of questions. So if you wanted to kind of try to recreate that, you could. Next, backed by popular demand, we have our workshops. So the way that I like to describe them is, you know, how you go to a conference, you're like, oh my God, that thing's amazing. Totally going to do that thing. And then you never actually do the thing because you never have time to do the thing because, you know, you have like an entire job. The idea behind workshops is you're actually going to do the thing finally. So you'll get about 30 minutes of instruction and 60 minutes of work time with the presenter there to give you feedback and answer your questions and help you make it amazing. So there will be a presentation. There will also be a digital worksheet that you'll work on. Um, just like with roundtables, engagement is expected, it's necessary. So I want you to come ready to work. We're going to do the best we can to record those in case you couldn't get to the one that you wanted to. But if you were signed up for a workshop or a roundtable that you're not going to attend, we'll ask that you please do drop that registration so that others who want to attend can. Thank you so much for your patience with workshops and roundtables. I know that it's frustrating that they're limited, but they're limited so that the experience can be as amazing as it possibly can. If you didn't get a chance to sign up for a workshop or a roundtable, or if all the ones you wanted were full, it's okay. You can go to breakout rooms during that time. You might try to schedule. Maybe you want to get two or three people together. Let's meet up in this room to talk about this thing. Or you can catch up on email or do other work. Grab a snack, whatever you want. But you know, I think those are going to be really amazing, and I really look forward to them. Also want to talk to you very briefly about prizes. So our sponsors and our speakers, our workshop leaders, our roundtable leaders have all generously donated some prizes for you. You can find those from the home screen down near the bottom right. There's a tab that says Alt Legal Connect prizes. I want you to click on that, and there's a survey in there. So you're going to pick your choice of your top 3 prizes that you would like and submit that. Um, and again, we're going to draw for those during our happy hour on Wednesday. So join us for that. Again, attendance is required. All right, swag. So several of you probably already got your swag packages with your I Heart Trademarks t-shirts in them. If you registered before mid-December or so, you should have already gotten your swag package. If you registered before that and you didn't get it, please let me know. We'll look into that. Or if you said, I don't want a t-shirt, and then you realize the t-shirts are actually really cool, I'll put a link to a form in the chat in a little bit that you can use to let us know that you actually want this really cool t-shirt. If you registered after that, you're still going to get a swag package. It's just going to send out a little bit later. So I will place those orders right after the conference is over. And you'll get them in about a month or so, so in March. Um, in terms of your swag, if you're looking at your cool trademarks or your trademarks are cool pen, and you're saying, huh, this looks a little scuffed. It looks like maybe it got scratched up in shipping. It didn't. It comes with a protective film on it, both the pins and the keychains do. So I want you to actually peel off that film, and then you'll see how shiny and pretty it is. So that does come with a film on it. Remove that, and it's going to look way cooler. Also, if you were here in 2021, same thing for the I Heart Trademarks a Latte pins. If you didn't remove that film, go ahead and do that. It'll look way cooler. Okay. If you have any feedback for us, definitely let me know. Send me an email. Tell me what you think. Alt Legal Connect is for you, and I want to make it great for you. So let me know what I can do to make it more like what you want. All right, let's talk about CLE. I know that's a reason why several of you are here. Legal is a California CLE provider. Most sessions, that is 6 out of 8, will qualify. But we will provide you with a uniform certificate of attendance for the one session that's a marketing session. California just doesn't allow that. But some states do allow credit, so we will provide you with a uniform certificate of attendance, but you will not get California CLE credit for that. And our TTAB hearing, which is tomorrow, we're not going to provide certificates of attendance. We don't think it qualifies. So CLE requirements. Number 1, you must attend live. Need you present for the entire 70 minutes of the session. Please have this be what you're doing. Next, I'm going to ask you to record the code. So I'm going to hold up a board. It's going to have the code on it. Make sure to write that down. Don't trust yourself to remember it. I'll put a link to the survey at the end of the session. In that survey, you're going to put in the code. You also have to answer some questions about the session. Submit the survey. If your code is correct, you will get your certificate of attendance in your email box almost immediately. All right. All sessions will be recorded, and you'll have access to them within the next week or so. Access to those is included in your ticket, and you can access those on the schedule tab through Brella. All right, now I'm going to draw your attention to something that you're going to see over and over and over again during Alt Legal Connect. This is our code of conduct. I know, you know, I've never had a problem with this audience. I don't ever anticipate having a problem with this audience. I love you all. You are wonderful and fantastic. But we are absolutely going to have a cooperative and collaborative culture. It's my favorite thing about Alt Legal Connect, but it's going to be a safe space for everybody. So don't be rude, don't harass anybody, don't threaten anybody. I'm going to say it every single time that we have a session, but again, it's never been an issue. If it becomes an issue, I'm going to ask you to leave. You're not going to get a refund or anything. But again, it's not a problem. You guys are wonderful. Okay, all right. So finally, it's time to introduce Nehal. Nehal Madhani is our founder and CEO of Alt Legal. You all know him. Nehal used to be a bankruptcy attorney at Kirkland and Ellis, and we can understand why he's not anymore because there's nothing exciting about handling bankruptcies. Um, but he really wanted to create efficiencies in the legal system. He kept running into things that just struck him as such a big waste of time. And so he just kind of stumbled into IP, in part because he, you know, ended up filing our protection for, alt legal. Wasn't even alt legal yet. Um, but as he did that, he discovered that he just absolutely loved the community and loved, being part of it. Um, and frankly, trademark docketing just hasn't been the same since. Um, Also, I want you to know that Nehal makes a really mean pizza. He's super obsessed with pizza. He'll tell you all about it. But here is Nehal.
Well, thank you, Bree. And a special thanks for that lovely bio. And a special thanks to you and the rest of our amazing team for organizing under brilliant agenda for a virtual conference series. This year is our third Alt Legal Connect, and I'm so excited to have all of you join us for what I think might be the best one yet. We have 3 amazing days of content and networking sessions all lined up for you. And if you've been with us since the beginning, you know that our first one was actually scheduled to be in person in Brooklyn in March 2020. Well, I don't know if we could have necessarily picked a worse time for an in-person event, as that was the same weekend that New York City officially declared emergency and shut everything down. Naively, we had hopes of making it an in-person event probably just a few months later that fall, but the pandemic continued to make that difficult. So that summer in 2020, we actually went back to the drawing board and redesigned Alt Legal Connect 2020 as a virtual conference. We knew that it would be a challenge to bring together everything that we wanted for an in-person event. But we had an amazing lineup of speakers and presenters. We actually found technology that made it easy for everyone to participate. And most importantly, connect at a time when they really needed it the most. We all needed that human touch point. And we wanted to find a way to get everyone together. And I'm so glad that we did. A virtual conference has allowed us not only to bring together a bigger audience, but also a more diverse one. It's a community of trademark professionals who might prefer virtual events because of cost, childcare, and family responsibilities, health challenges, and a number of other reasons. And our primary goal at Alt Legal Connect, and you hear this time and time again, is to make the lives of trademark professionals easier. And we hope that by holding Alt Legal Connect virtually, we've made it easier for you to connect and learn from some of the brightest and most forward-thinking trademark professionals that are out there. So this year, what can you expect from Alt Legal Connect? Well, first, you can expect to be welcome into the Alt Legal community. It's a diverse community. Consists of like-minded, innovation-focused trademark professionals who want to not only learn together, but want to support each other. Second, you're going to access really unique practical content that you don't find at your standard CLE events. Our sessions not only address the significant issues in trademark and IP law that you need to know, but also the business of law and practice. And third, you're going to network in an inspiring, respectful, and genuinely fun environment where Connect attendees can connect or reconnect with each other and form lasting relationships. Over the years, I've heard from so many Alt Legal Connect attendees who attribute so many small and even large professional advances to the connections and relationships that they've developed at this conference. And of course, these relationships are strengthened throughout the year at our webinars and even in-person encounters. And if you're new to Alt Legal Connect, I want to extend you a very warm welcome. In addition to our monthly webinar series and the Alt Legal Connect conference, our Alt Legal provides the leading IP management software for trademark professionals. And we're thrilled to see so many of our customers join us. Many of our customers know that we launched the very first version of our trademark docketing software back in 2014. And since then, over 1,000 organizations have adopted our docketing software that range from AmLaw law firms, Fortune 50 companies, to the leading IP boutiques and solos out there. And we're so proud to be working with all of you, managing millions of IP filings and deadlines and other global IP assets daily. So this morning, I'm going to go over some of the highlights for the next few days. And after highlighting parts of our agenda, I'm going to share some of the latest updates and product launches from Alt Legal. Our next few days are going to be filled with so many opportunities to learn and connect. So let's just jump right in. This year, we have an amazing lineup of multiple sessions. They're going to be eligible for CLE credit. And what makes our CLE sessions so special is that we spend a lot of time thinking about the right topics that will help you with your trademark practice. But we also find time and invest in finding you the dynamics and brilliant speakers who can deliver the content. So this year, for the first time ever, as Bree mentioned, we're going to have a live TTAB hearing. We're also going to offer sessions about understanding the parameters of comparative advertising in the digital area. We're going to talk about cultural misappropriation of trademarks. We're going to talk about how you can put together a successful expungement or re-examination proceeding under the TMA, or Trademark Modernization Act. We're going to talk about how you can secure trade dress protection. We're also going to address how you can avoid IP malpractice claims and other key ethical considerations for IP practitioners. We even have an attorney who's going to talk about how you can use social media to market yourself and your practice, and how she's done so and developed an incredibly successful firm as a result. We're also going to address current events in IP law and how they're going to address and impact your practice. But in addition to our large group sessions, as Bree mentioned, one of the special things that we've put together are these small group workshops and roundtable discussions, where you're going to leave with not only a better understanding of the topic, but takeaways that can actually help you with your trademark practice. And that could be a checklist for filing WIPO applications, a roadmap for monitoring and enforcing trademarks in the metaverse, or an outline for drafting a more streamlined office action response. So we have a lot of content, but beyond the CLE sessions and the workshops, one of the standout features of Alt Legal Connect that we've worked really hard to have in place is the technology that will enable you to form meaningful connections with other conference attendees. We've selected the best technology providers out there, scheduled dynamic networking sessions, and organized social events that will allow you to form incredible experiences, and all from the comfort of your own home. So please make sure to take time for our social events as well as our CLE credit sessions. Now, over the years at Connect, we've received such positive feedback about all the ways that you can meet and talk with conference attendees. So we want to make sure that we offer it all again this year. So again, this year for a repeat Connect attendee, we're going to be using Brella, the same platform that will allow you to match with IP professionals and vendors based on your shared interests and schedule one-on-one meetings with each other. Last time we had Connect, I was so proud to see that we had over 500 meetings scheduled among attendees in just a matter of days. 8 hours of conversation during speed networking, 125 speed networking matches, and 15 potential meetings for one of our sponsors. And all of this was invaluable in helping Connect attendees meet and connect with each other. The feature of Connect that really makes it stand out from other conferences, and this is one of my favorites, is our in-session chat. So this is a chat that's on the right-hand side. It's actually one of my favorite things about Connect. These chats are always popular because it allows you to have sidebar discussions, share resources, ask questions, and even make the occasional trademark law joke. So please feel free to be yourself and really get to know each other through the chats. Now, in addition to sessions and the networking, we've also organized some fun virtual experiences so you can socialize with each other in a lighthearted manner. So join us and other Connect attendees, as Bree mentioned, for mini games, trivia, and a happy hour following each of the main day's events. Now, I'll also encourage you to spread the word about Alt Legal Connect, including all the connections you're making and all that you're learning. So we want you to post to your social media channels about Connect, and we have a hashtag that you can use, Alt Legal Connect. And the 3 attendees with the best post are each going to win a free item from our trade market, which is our punny trademark swag store on Etsy, from which we donate all net proceeds to charity. Lastly, I want to take a moment to thank all of the sponsors who have made Alt Legal Connect possible. Clio, a leading firm practice management software. Gravity Legal, billing software to help you get paid. Rudra International, which provides IP investigations and brand protection services. 2 Weeks to Trademarks, which provides trademark and marketing education services. Phil Cox, who provides business development services for IP attorneys. And Copy Curious, which is a copyright course for legal practitioners. All of them are truly among the best at what they do, so I encourage you to connect with them through our conference platform. Now that I've shown you a little bit what you can expect at Alt Legal Connect over the few days that are coming up, I want to spend a few minutes just talking about some of the exciting things that we've been working on at Alt Legal. And one question I'm often asked is, how does Alt Legal think about the future of trademark practice? And for me and our team personally, we see it anchored in two key attributes. One is community, and the other is innovation. As Bree mentioned, I was a former corporate restructuring attorney. And so for me, it was rare to really come across a practice area like this that is as collaborative as the field of trademarks is. Obviously the notion of trademarks themselves is collaborative. It's a collaboration between businesses and consumers of those goods and services so that they can find the products and services that they need. And they can hold businesses accountable to the value and connotations that they associate with their brand relative to other ones. And if a product or service fails to meet a consumer's expectations, the consumer will simply go somewhere else. And trademarks help to further a civil, fair, and collaborative relationship among consumers and businesses. So naturally, the practice of trademark law carries the same principle of collaboration as a central theme. It's a rare practice area that actually truly spans global borders and languages. Each country may provide a similar level of protection when you have a registered trademark, but the path to getting there actually varies pretty significantly. Each country has its own specific requirements and requires unique knowledge and specialized expertise to understand the nuances of a country's IP office and to truly know what it takes to get a mark registered. And of course, even more, the next step, which is to enforce that mark in that jurisdiction. And this specialization really unites trademark practitioners around the globe. It's truly a special group of individuals who have found this highly nuanced specialization within IP law and embraced it in their careers. And because I think trademark practitioners are so unique and so highly specialized, community is really important for them. It's quite difficult, I think, to work in a silo as a trademark practitioner. Either immediately or over time, your client's needs are going to evolve globally and they're going to need global trademark prosecution. And if we look back to prior to 2020, it seemed that the only meaningful way to develop your network of trademark professionals was through like in-person events, whether it was like INTA's annual meeting, drawing people globally, or even local city and state bar associations. But in 2020, these limited opportunities for in-person events actually presented an opportunity for us and encouraged us to think outside the box, to think about how we could recreate these networking opportunities. And it actually showed us what was possible, that we could actually build other meaningful pathways to giving connections. So one of the things that we did in 2020, and we've been doing since, is we launched our webinar series. And it's remarkable to see how much attention the IP community has given to this, because it actually gave a way for colleagues and friends to stay in touch during COVID, to keep learning and to broaden the trademark community. So since our first webinar, which was in April 2020, we've held 42 other ones that have drawn well over 5,000 registrants. And our attendees love our webinar platform because what's unique is that it allows presenters to directly engage with the audience and audience members to re-engage through what I mentioned was my favorite part of Alt Legal Connect sessions, our lively chat. We have the same chat every time we have a webinar, and it's full of resource exchanges and questions. This past year, we hosted over 13 different webinars that covered a range of IP topics. We had a hugely popular webinar about what trademark lawyers need to know about copyright law, about WIPO filings, trademark ethics, cannabis trademarks, trademarks in the metaverse, and so much more. And I'm so glad to have these webinars available to you. They're all available on demand, and these and plus the 40 other webinars available on our website. But that's just one way we want to keep providing the trademark community with valuable content. Many of you attending today are subscribers to our weekly iHeart Trademarks newsletter. And if you're not, if you are, you know that our weekly newsletter contains concise and even lighthearted summaries of legal updates, mentions of successful and even in some cases laughable filings, job listings, tips for managing your practice, and of course, as many puns as Bree can put into a newsletter. The weekly iHeart Trademarks newsletter will be your favorite thing about Tuesday afternoon. So if you're not already a subscriber, you can sign up directly at altlegal.com/newsletter. In addition to that, we also write regularly on our blog, and all of our great content is searchable. In fact, last year we had over 50,000 unique visitors find our content. And some fan favorites were how to search TES like a trademark examiner, In Too Deep, how to effectively respond to 2D refusals. We had a separate piece about how to respond to 2E4 surname refusals, whiteboard basics and key considerations, and so much more. Now, over the last couple of years, we've written a lot of content, and we've heard that it would be great if it was easier to find. So we've created Alt Legal's Resource Center, which our resource library compiles all of our blog articles, our webinars, or even our Connect sessions, and we've organized it readily by topic and made it searchable, so it's available for you at any point. Now, personally, I also think it's important that we do what we can to shape the future of IP practice and build a global community around that. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about one of my personal projects that I've been working on, which is IPSIG, which stands for International Intellectual Property Standards Group. It's a nonprofit I launched that seeks to bring together IP offices, IP owners, and other stakeholders to create and implement standards for access and availability of global IP office laws and data. We had a soft launch earlier, but this coming year, we intend to bring a lot more organizations together to drive meaningful change. Our ultimate goal is to ensure all applicants have visibility into the IP filing process. And we want to do so by pulling together resources among IP offices, stakeholders, and educating them all on the best practices so that basic information around IP laws, filing, documentation, information, and data can all be available. So you can learn more about the goals that I hope to achieve with IPSIG and sign up to get involved at ipsig.com. Now, in addition to content and initiatives for the general trademark community, I've personally found that there was a lack of sufficient resources for trademark administrators, TMAs, and so many fellow TMAs agreed. So we launched our free trademark paralegal course in 2020, actually at Connect, and so far it's met with a fantastic response. We've had over 1,000 students enrolled. And that course isn't only designed for new trademark administrators, it's also designed for experienced ones who want to level up their skills. And we have an amazing roster of expert attorneys and TMAs in the field that cover everything from IP basics to docketing trademarks and beyond. It even has ethics for non-lawyers and provides a session for career development for TMAs. It's a completely free course. So please pass it along to your TMAs, sign up yourself, and if you complete our final exam successfully, you'll even receive a certificate of completion upon completing the whole course. But that's not all for TMAs. This past year, we launched Trademark Administrators Exchange, which TMAE for short, is an email discussion forum that's just dedicated to TMAs. And it's been incredibly well received so that these TMAs and paralegals can share resources and learn from each other. It's grown to hundreds of members in the 6 months that we launched it, and hundreds of messages have been exchanged among members. They're discussing topics ranging from salaries to strategies for filing in the UAE. Each thread represents a new kernel of knowledge and a deeper sense of connection. And of the TMAE members, a little bit more than half are working at firms, about 40% in-house, and the rest are independent contractors or other positions. It has thousands of combined years of experience, and I'm excited to share that we're soon going to launch a specific discussion series just for TMAs. So if you're not a member, if you're a TMA, please join so that you can stay in touch. TMAexchange.com. So with all this, what's next for our community initiatives? Now, we've heard from so many of you that virtual is great, but it's also great to reconnect in person. So we're going to launch a new regional one-day event series that will bring together basically a mini Alt Legal Connect. It's going to talk about IP law, CLEs, networking, and of course, these events will basically be local, but in person, and will feature delicious food and your favorite Alt Legal swag. So we're excited to take the show on the road, so to speak, and connect with so many of you in person. So please stay tuned about our upcoming regional events. So what is the TMA group, our webinars, our upcoming events? The common theme here is togetherness is essential. The trademark community is a unique one, And we want to continuously foster more connection among the trademark community. So, in addition to building and participating in the trademark community, our other primary objective here is that is to support a culture of innovation. We believe trademark professionals need cutting edge tools to do their job. And we recognize that our customers expect and deserve the best. This is why we've been committed to a culture of innovation. We regularly solicit feedback from our customers, as many of you know. It's also why we've historically and continue to do so, invest 50% top line revenue right into product development. And this means that we're able to regularly deliver a platform that's evolving and getting better. So I'm going to share really quickly our latest feature launch, which is alt legal trademark protection. Now, many of you know, in late 2020, we launched our first offering in the space, which was a Section 2D trademark watch that tells you when your trademarks are cited in a likelihood of confusion refusal. The USPTO doesn't tell you when your trademarks are cited, and we thought that this was a lost opportunity to know about potential infringement. And at the very least, it would give you a baseline protection for all of the trademarks in your portfolio. And this was because we had heard from so many brand owners and law firms that use our docketing software that were frustrated with the current approaches to trademark monitoring. They just thought it was so binary. Either the brand owner opted to monitor a trademark or they didn't do anything at all. It wasn't because brand owners don't care about their trademarks, it was because it was so cost prohibitive. When you look at the cost of monitoring a single trademark for a traditional service, it's entirely unfeasible to do that over a large portfolio. And then there have been some generic, we'll watch over every mark, but they created too much noise when you looked at it across the entire portfolio. And this whole market felt so broken when brand owners were frustrated about how their needs were unmet. So we launched our Section 2D service to provide a cost-effective and on-point way to watch over all of your USPTO trademarks. For law firms, it gave them an opportunity to generate new revenue and deliver a higher level of client service. For brand owners, it was a cost-effective way to have blanket protection. In fact, our Section 2D trademark watch has been adopted by over 1,000 law firms and brand owners since we launched. But given our culture of innovation, it doesn't make sense to stop there. So we want to extend our monitoring capabilities. And this is where it became really important when you look at the recent lag at the USPTO. Over the past 3 years, dependency rate, right, which is the rate of time it takes from filing to the first action at the USPTO, increased significantly, as many of you know. The USPTO originally had a target of 2.5 months to 7.5 months. And for the last 4 quarters, given the surge in filings, it's been sitting well above that. Currently, it's at 8.4 months. So what that meant is that even with our Section 2D trademark watch, it would be a year or so before you would receive any alerts, or a trademark could be published for opposition directly. And that combined with so many brand owners not opting for traditional monitoring services, it meant that there needed to be a new alternative, a more simple, cost-effective way to let brand owners know about infringement at the earliest possible stage. So we've launched Trademark Application Match. This is our newest trademark monitoring tool. And we took the same approach that we did when developing our IP docketing software. We listened to the needs of trademark professionals and used data to make their lives easy. So it works by identifying new applications that either contain identical or substantially overlapping literal elements as the USPTO trademarks in your portfolio. When we detect that, we'll send you a weekly report. And now, with this, you're able to offer a baseline of monitoring for your entire USP trademark portfolio at a fraction of the cost of what traditional monitoring services would cost you. And because it's so razor focused on what I think are the most egregious potential offenders, we're able to deliver this in a way that doesn't also overwhelm you as well. So our new umbrella suite, trademark protection, includes trademark application match, includes our Section 2D trademark watch. And in my view, it fundamentally changes the market for monitoring. It's no longer your client as a law firm. It no longer is your client ask you to watch something. You can actually use it more proactively. And that's what we're seeing from so many of our law firm customers who, previously would only order a watch service when a client requested one. And now they're using it as a business development tool, as a way of improving client relations and services, and as a way of increasing revenue. And previous services with the expensive per mark approach made this impossible. We offer a subscription level that's based on the number of matters in your entire portfolio. And they're using it to drive new revenue opportunities. We had one client that generated over 10,000 in new legal fees from a TTAP proceeding that was initiated from a 2D alert that we sent. Another firm has started selling trademark monitoring subscriptions to clients that previously ignored these services. And they price them at a really cost-effective point, under $100 per year, and within just a few weeks, sold dozens of subscriptions to their clients that are interested in the service of monitoring trademarks through Alt Legal. So through Alt Legal's application match, Section 2D trademark watch, and they get read-only access to a trademark portfolio. Our primary focus is to help you manage and reduce risk with trademark docketing and streamline filing with intake, but we're equally excited to help firms generate new revenue and improve client relations with trademark monitoring. It's a win-win for brand owners. So if you're curious about how to utilize this in your practice, how to monetize this for your firm, please feel free to contact me directly or simply visit the link in our website. We have a lot more that we're going to be launching this year, and I'm happy to be walking you through it towards the end of our time at Connect. So please join me for my keynote closing, where I'll talk about some of the other features that we have planned for this year. Now, I know Bree's anxious to kick off Alt Legal Connect, so without further ado, I will pass it off to her so we can get started for our first session on time.
All right, wonderful, everybody. So why don't you take just a second to get a drink of water, and then we are going to get started with nothing compares to using others' brands, the limitations of comparative advertising. I will be there in just a moment.